Hello, welcome to the Mediocre Takes podcast, the podcast where we share our mediocre takes on the shows and movies we watch. I'm Marco, and here's my co-host Mel. How are you doing, Mel?
I asked my dad what he would do if I became a devout Catholic, and he said he would disown me.
Slay!
So he's actually doing reverse homophobia, which is so brave of him.
That is so slay of him. Oh my god.
Speaking of homosexuality and allyship,
Today we're doing a double feature, I guess, is what we're calling it. We're talking about two queer short films, and you know it's equality because one's man on man while the other one's woman on woman.
there are so many ways you could have said that other than man on man and woman on woman.
I'm sorry.
And I want you to know that.
No, I kind of knew what I was doing when I was saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it'd be funny, you know?
Well, you made it gross, is what you did.
I was just being a little quirky. Anyways, the two short films we're going to be talking about is In a Heartbeat and A Piece of Cake. Let's just get started with In a Heartbeat. In a Heartbeat follows our main character, Sherwin, lame name by the way, who has a crush on a guy. When Sherwin is watching this guy he has a crush on, Sherwin's heart pops out and goes after the love interest, and a little bit of hijinks ensue. The animation is so beautiful and I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Like, props on the animators for that. I know everyone loves this short, but it was just a bit too sweet for me at times. Like, it felt sickly sweet. Like, I was just like, no, this is literally too cute. I can't handle it. Like, it was too much for me. Which will get to my other point of that being that I love that this short is only like 4 minutes long and that's it. I think it's the perfect length and it didn't need to be any longer. The story was plotted well and it had a good ending. Honestly, if it was any longer, I feel like it would have been a bit too much at times. So yeah, I kind of like that. I don't really like the character design. It's just not my kind of thing. I think it's fine overall. To be fair, I get what the creators were going for, and I think they do a fine job going for that aesthetic. I just personally was not the biggest fan, I guess.
Yeah, this is also a pretty old short. Like, I mean, 6 years, so I don't want to think about time. Yeah, but this is actually the first time I've watched it, and I do remember all the anger and hatred against this cute little short film. Like, people were acting as if the president of the LGBTQ casted a spell on the short that made everyone who watched it gay. The hate would be funny if those freaks didn't actively want to eradicate us. I think it was cool to see that it was the person in love who sort of like broke their own heart out of fear instead of the love interest doing that. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but it feels like it's more common for the main character to have their heart broken by their love interest instead of like the main character running away from their feelings and the love interest being the one to like, I guess, advocate for the relationship. I don't know. But I thought that was really interesting.
Overall, I think this is a solid short film. I like how short it is. I think it's sweet. I think if you're just looking for something happy and queer, like this is really good. However, I just didn't love it as much as I thought it would. I still think it's a solid piece of media and I like it for what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely something to send to a younger cousin or a younger sibling that you think is gay, just to sort of let them know you're an ally. I really like the idea of this short with his heart being an active character. I'm not a huge fan of this type of animation. I'm with you on that, Marco. It just kind of looks generic at this point. I'm not sure how I would have felt 6 years ago if I watched this. Maybe it would have felt a little bit more like fresher, but I will say the movements were very fluid. And they were sort of over exaggerated in the same way like an old Looney Tune cartoon would be, which I do love. Anyway, yeah, I think homophobes should like die in Minecraft, you know? Like, I don't know, I really feel like they clickbaited me with this, you know?
You wanted this to be more queer.
Well, yeah, I don't know, the response I saw, I just thought they would have at least like kissed or held hands or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
What did we get? We got like this little boy who broke his own heart, and then the guy was like, "No, here's your heart." Like that's it. We didn't even get like a proper bully scene or anything.
Yeah.
Like it was all in his head. I don't know. It was crazy.
Real critique is they didn't make it queer enough, honestly.
Truthfully, and the homophobes still got angry. Dude, they're
Yeah.
obsessed. Anyway.
They are obsessed, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. The next one up is Piece of Cake. So, after an incident with her groom, a porcelain wedding cake bride pursues another bride. They fight off homophobia figuratively and literally, before living happily ever after.
Okay, so I don't think I would have usually liked how like glassy and porcelain the characters looked in this animation. However, since these are wedding toppers and they're literally porcelain, I think I was able to appreciate what the creators were going for. The animation looks really great in general, and the way the characters like shine makes it at least somewhat interesting to watch. I really love the end credits scene where it's shown that the bakery owner finds the two dolls together and then the lesbian couple comes in and buys the cake. Like that's really great stuff. And I wish we would have gotten that section animated as well, because I just think it would have added a lot to the overall short. Do you disagree?
I don't know. I think it's just because I prefer 2D animation. I will always prefer 2D animation over 3D animation. So I really liked how the characters look in 2D.
Hmm.
And I'm also just a huge fan of the story continuing to be told during the end credits.
Kind of
So
like in The Legend of Heapy.
you
Don't laugh. Oh my god. No, you're such a child.
said it. You're the one who said it.
I was just mentioning another short film.
You're the one who said it. But you know how insane I go for pee pee.
That's on you this time.
What was I saying? What were we saying? I love.
No. Not again.
I love end credit stories.
Anyways, while Mal's dying, I'll continue my notes. I can definitely agree that I prefer 2D animation, but I still think it would have been nice if we got like at least a little animated scene that was after credits. I just think it would have added to the story overall. I think I ended up enjoying Piece of Cake way more than In a Heartbeat because while they both have happy endings, Piece of Cake felt like it had a lot more weight to its story. Also, it had a more serious tone to it, and the tone of the story wasn't like super sickly sweet. So, yeah.
So the slap right off the bat was so unexpected. Like shock Pikachu face, and truly I expected Blondie to beat his ass, not just step on his foot. So I was really surprised that she like took the high road. Also, this is really stupid, but if we did assign sexualities to silverware, forks would be lesbians. I feel like that just makes sense. Anyway, I really expected quicker allyship from the brunette's groom. He had like 3 chances to kill evil, scary villain man, and he chose not to? Could never be me. I know that you are a hardcore ally for lesbians, and you would have killed that man immediately.
What is it with me and lesbians recently? Oh my god.
I don't think it's recently. You're the one who was like, "Let's watch Bloom Into You."
Okay, but that's like my favorite like piece of media. Okay.
Because you're such an ally to lesbians. And I love that. I love that. You're like the only person I've met who's an ally to lesbians that I don't feel like threatened by because I know that you're not interested in women at all.
That's so interesting. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if a straight man were to be like, "I'm an ally to lesbians," I'd feel
Mhm.
like he'd have a motive
Yeah.
because they love sexualizing lesbians. And then if it was like a straight woman who's an ally, I feel like there's a chance that she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm all for lesbians. Are you hitting on me? Do you like have a
Yeah, yeah.
crush on me?" Yeah. So you're a true lesbian ally.
You know what's so interesting about that? There's this like stereotype that like gay men and lesbians hate each other.
This is it's the white community. I can't like it has to be the white community because I only see it with them.
Crackers, crackers, crackers. You can't trust these
Oh my
crackers.
god.
Do you know that TikTok sound?
No. Oh
Have
wait, yes, yes. And they're right. They're right. Anyway, thank you for being an ally, Marco.
Yes, you're welcome. Anyways, back on topic. Overall, I think Piece of Cake is a really good short film. I don't really like how like shiny the characters looked, but at the same time, I do understand that that's what they're going for because the characters are literally made of porcelain. And I still think, despite me not being the biggest fan of it, I still enjoyed the animation and I still liked it at some points. The fight scene was good, I guess. It could have been better, but honestly, with how short this film is, I don't really expect much from a fight scene like that. I love that the fact that the man died. And yeah, just a great short film in general.
I really like the idea of this story. It's like if Toy Story were gay. Dot dot dot. I also liked, I guess, like the animation and how these porcelain figures were so shiny and the noises they make when they interacted with things. They used a noise that sounded like as if you were tapping something with glass or porcelain. And I'm also a fan of stories being told during the credits. So that ending scene was so slay of them. The homosexuality doesn't end there because we still have the Mediocre Minute Pride Month edition. The Mediocre Minute, of course, is a tiny little micro moment where me and Marco recommend books, comics, music, games, and more for you all to check out. My recommendation is a recommendation. That's right. Us English speakers got issue 4 of the manga She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat. I won't spoil anything, but this issue had me blushing and giggling and kicking my feet. It is much lighter than the last issue, but I will say I think that issue 3 still is my favorite just because of like how the writer was able to depict different people's complex relationships with their families. So if you guys haven't already read the series, get it because honestly, it is so good. And it is the reason why I started truly reading manga and getting into manga. Marco, what is your recommendation?
First of all, I just want to say I have read volume 1 of She Loves Cooks and She Loves to Eat, and I think the way the author writes like woman characters is really amazing. Like I honestly haven't seen like female characters written so well in a while, which is surprising. The way the author does it is great. So yeah, I also recommend that. But my recommendation is going to be a cute little YA novel called You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. You Should See Me in Crown follows our main character. I think her name is Liz or something. She just wants to graduate high school and like go to a college and everything, but she's struggling to like figure out how to pay for it. So she realizes that one of the ways she can get her school paid for is by becoming prom queen, because if you become prom queen, you get a scholarship, at least at her school. So it's about her trying to become prom queen. She's also queer, so there is a lesbian romance in this book as well. It's just a really fun, cute time. Honestly, I would recommend it if you want something kind of like In a Heartbeat, like just something sweet and cute and kind of fluffy. So yeah, that's my recommendation.
And these recommendations will be in the description of this episode.
Yes. Anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on In a Heartbeat and A Piece of Cake. If you want to send us a voice message on Spotify for podcasters, there'll be a link in the description to do so below. Also, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads with your AmaTakesPod. And that's everything, so goodbye.
Gay! Get it? So